Hey, thanks for watching Mondays with Mike. I appreciate you checking out the link. I hope they're helping you become all that God's created you to be. We're talking about stewardship, and today I want to talk about stewardship of time. Ephesians 5:16 and 17 says to look carefully about how you walk or about how you live, what your lifestyle represents, not as unwise but as wise, and make the best use of the time. The King James says redeeming the time because the days are evil. 1 Corinthians 4:1 and 2 we said last time said that the servants of Christ should be stewards of the mysteries of God, and as stewards of the mysteries of God we should be found faithful. It's a matter of fact required that we be found faithful. These verses stress that we are in subordination to, we have a responsibility to a superior, someone higher than ourselves, and we have to steward our life differently because of that. Particularly, not just do we need to steward the time, but we need to steward the time as it relates to the mysteries of God or to the message of the cross. God will hold us accountable for how we used our time to advance His kingdom, His message, His mystery of His Son come to die on the cross for our sins and resurrected the third day. So it's required of you to be found faithful, that you make the best use of time to propagate God and His program. How are you doing that? You see, Luke 12:48 actually says that to whom much is given, much is required. So the more you've been given, the more God's going to expect out of you, the more He's going to require out of you. And if you're a follower, you've been given the most precious thing there is. Now, we sometimes say time is the most precious thing there is, but it's not, because there's going to come a time when there is no more time. So obviously it's not the most precious thing, or it would last forever. Our souls are eternal, but they're not even the most precious thing. Jesus Christ is the most precious thing. His message to a lost and dying world, part of that package of who He is, that is the most precious thing that you can steward. And secondly would be your soul and the eternal destiny of your soul and the eternal condition of your soul. Then the eternal destiny and souls of others. Then time. Time is important. We must manage it well, but it must be in its proper place. We often get caught up procrastinating, putting off jobs, and they're either too big or they're too hard or they don't taste good, so we just put them off, and that's procrastination and could very easily be disobedience to God and sin. You need to stop managing your time that way. But also in this day, most of the time, it's that we're trying to pack more activities, more events, more things into an already overloaded schedule, and perhaps you're one of the people that need to do the opposite. You're not a procrastinator. You're one of the people that has to be encouraged or admonished to take some time off. You know, Jesus is our model for all things. Jesus took a day off a week and a week off a year. And if you struggle with taking time off and playing with your family, having a conversation with your friend about nothing, just refreshing, you really have a problem with God. You have a problem with God's design. And you probably don't realize it, but you're in essence saying, you know, I don't have time to take time off, because if I take a day off, everything will fall apart. And you're basically slamming God as if He's running the universe, but He can't run the things that are affected by what you're associated with within that little old universe. And you're basically saying, God, I don't trust you. I can't take a day off because I don't trust you to keep on running my little universe while I'm off. And you wouldn't say that consciously to Him. So part of honoring His design might be for you to say no to something or to take some time off. Just think about it. Anyway, redeem the time, make the best use of it, and only as a redeemed individual can you genuinely redeem the time. So if you've never received Christ as Savior, I'd encourage you to do so. Let me know if you need to know how to do that. Otherwise, I'll see you next week, where we're going to talk about how to not just redeem the time, but to redeem our talents. See you next week.